and look at it.
Okay.
We live right now. So I'm gonna go to Taylor House Publishing and share it.
Go in the living room with mama, baby. Yeah, man, I done fractured my neck and everything.
You talking about afterward?
No, after the first time I got shot in the face, I went out with me and my brother went to a club. Then we rode the Lexus. It flipped 7 times, and I fractured my neck. He fractured his neck, but he also broke his ankle and his toe in the process after that.
How long ago was that?
Probably about 8 years ago. 9 years ago. 9 years tops. I can still pop my neck whenever I move it left or right.
You know, yeah. Anybody ever tell you like, I'm probably sure you heard it before, like, you got a calling on your life. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. How that make you feel though? So I shared it, man. Go to my page and share it, so it'll be live on your joint too, so everybody can see it. I don't think he'll let me tag you in the show up on your page, but
it just notified me.
Oh, okay. All right. So we got a minute before the show start, and welcome everybody. So I'm about to switch the microphones to the studio, so you won't be able to hear me until the show start. But y'all stay tuned for about 3 minutes, about 30 seconds, and we'll be live on the air. So we'll be right back with you.
All right. Hey, baby, can you give me this remote? I can turn the TV down.
In Grifton, Southside, Greenville, North Carolina. I try to be a better man, but folks just don't understand. Try to do all I can to deal with this addiction in me. Lord, I want to change. I can't stay the same. But the sins that in my veins, it's trying its best just to kill me.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another week of the U-Turn Show. I'm your host, Richard Taylor, here on 106.9 FM Awesome Radio. If you haven't been to our website, www.wbisawesomeradio.org, you can go to the website, download all of our apps, either on the Google Play, the Alexa, or the Apple Store. And also, this is a live interactive show, so you can call in. Let me put the call-in number up there real quick. But we do got a very, very, okay, there it go. So we do got a very, very special guest, man. This young man reached out to me last week, and I guess he saw the show, so he wanted to come on and tell his story. So it's definitely a pleasure to have this young man. Thank God for all of our viewers, whether you're looking on Facebook, on YouTube, or Awesome Radio channel. But I definitely want to introduce my special guest for tonight, Daniel Atkinson. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. Glad to be here.
Definitely, man. Definitely blessed, man. So we're gonna get right into the story, man. If y'all did see the promotional shot, this young man was recently shot in the head in September, about 3 months ago. And he was told that, by the doctors that he was never walking in, but he's already recovering, taking steps on his own. So we're going to get to that. But, of course, this is called the U-Turn Show. So I always kind of go back to how we got to that point, right? So where were you born? You were born in Goldsboro, right?
Yeah, Goldsboro, North Carolina.
All right, okay. So I always start and ask people, how was their childhood? Like what was life like for you growing up in Goldsboro?
Yeah, my childhood, it wasn't the best, but we made it do what it do. I ain't really want for nothing. My mama always provided,
Uh-huh.
and it's just coming up really. But yeah, for the most part, we ain't have. I had a good childhood. I got a good mama. She raised me the best she can. She ain't got nothing to do with my street mentality or nothing like that.
Yeah. And shout out to his mom too, Tanya Atkinson. Now, her and her sister, they used to babysit me as a child when we used to go to Tabernacle of Prayer. So I was going through his page and I recognized that's who his mama was. So it's definitely, I know, you come from good stock. Your grandma, Miss Justine Atkinson, rest in peace. She was very instrumental in my childhood as well. So, I know where they was raised. So did she ever tell you stories though about, when we used to grow up in church and how long the services was and all of that?
Yeah, but I ain't really take heed to it. I was like I said, like my mama, she's a good person, but I was always in and out of the streets. I did, what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But,
I get it. So was it just you by yourself, or did you have like some brothers?
Yeah, I got some brothers and sisters, but when I was coming up, I started running the streets. I ain't want my little brother running behind me, so I used to try to dodge him and stuff like that. But I had a crew of guys that I ran with. I just kept my little brother out of it because I ain't want him out here
So
like.
let me ask you. So what was like? So what age did you really started to get into the street, and what kind of caused you? What influenced you? To kind of get into that life.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it started out, in middle school, and I started getting a name for myself. Getting little girlfriends and little popularity and stuff like that. And then the guys I ran with, they was older cats for the most part, so they was already out here. So I just gravitated to them, and next thing you know, I was basically doing the same thing they were.
You're doing the same thing. All right, so my bro Brody, he talking about the services at church. Yeah, they used to be long, definitely on John Street, Tabernacle of Prayer. So he definitely I think he remember your people too. So what was the first time that you probably actually really got into trouble as far as being in the streets?
Well, I always kind of got in trouble, but I never was the type to get caught. So when I first got caught, like dealing with the streetwise, I was driving with license, and my first charge come from me helping somebody else. They was walking down the road, and I gave them a ride, and the police thought something else. But I really was just giving them a ride, and the police just pulled up, and I got caught with a gun and some weed and shit stuff like that.
Yeah. So
how
old was you then?
I was 21. I had a gun license.
Okay.
I remember I was 21 years old when I first caught my charge ever.
So basically, but you were smart though, because if you was 21 you had the gun license, so that wasn't really a gun charge though, was it? Or did they give you a charge because you had weed with you?
They try to say I was using my gun license to protect my drug enterprise and stuff like that. So that's when they took my gun license and locked me up and stuff like that.
All right. So how much weed did you have?
Back then, we used to put weed in bag them up in nicks. So I probably had 50 to 70 nick bags on me.
Okay. So basically, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was really pushing that agenda back then. It wasn't nothing for me to get the 70 off, but I ain't stay around here. So when I come to the city, I always have what I need before I go back home. And just to happen before I get to my destination to drop that off, I try to give my homeboy a ride, and that's how I got my first charge. And it wasn't because of me. He ain't have his seatbelt on. They really got him pulled us over because he ain't have his seatbelt on. But when they got behind me, I threw the gun on top of the dashboard. And they saw the gun, so they wanted to search the car and all that stuff. Even though I had legit papers on the gun, but they said they had found paraphernalia and stuff like that in the car. So that furthered the search.
Okay. So I guess they charged you with possession with intent, because it was bagged up.
Yeah.
So did you do time for that, or like just probation or something?
Then by that my first offense, they just gave me probation.
Okay.
The only time I did from that when they locked me up, and then I made bond, but then they put me on probation. And I caught some other charges after that, was leading me to go do some time here and there. But it all fell from that.
So, because I know you said the first time, the first time you got shot in the head, you was about what you said, 21. So was that?
I was about 20, 21. After I got shot in the head, it made me go get my gun license.
Okay, so you got actually shot in the head before you got that charge.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take the audience to that first incident. So explain the circumstances around that. What was you doing? How did it happen? And what did you do afterwards?
Yeah, me and some partners was out, on the block hanging out, sipping and stuff like that. A car had spent the block on us, but we weren't paying no attention, but we paid attention because we want a car that we familiar with in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So the second time they came through, it was the windows dropped down. It was bang, bang, bang. Me and my partner of mine got hit at the same time. He actually got hit 3 times in the head from a 12 gauge, but I took the most of the impact. And we were standing right beside each other.
And so what was you thinking when when the bullets was flying? Like, because I've been in situations like that too. So, how did you react? What was you thinking?
When I got shot on the first time that they pulled the trigger, then anything after that, it was just scrambling, trying to just get away and stuff like that. But I didn't even know that I was hit that bad until I got home, and blood coming down my face, through my throat right here, head. I still got like 13 of them bullets in my face from that time.
Like pellets, right?
Yeah.
So after that happened though, like what did you do? You went home, you ran.
Yeah, I got up and I walked home to get my gun. I was going to go back and retaliate, but my mama and my peers and stuff like that kept me in the house, called the ambulance and stuff like that, and they got me to Wayne Memorial Hospital where they did their thing on me. But the whole time, that time I was conscious. The last time I was conscious too, but the first time it was like I want for sure, you know what I'm saying? That was my first time being shot in the face.
So how long did you stay in the hospital that time?
I got out that next morning.
That next morning.
Yeah.
All right. So and like I told you before we was talking, like, I was like 18 the first time I got shot. And during that time, it was, I considered it cool to be, to survive a gunshot. So that really didn't change my way. Like that made me like kind of go harder in the streets and, feel like I was certified because I took the shot. So how did that affect you?
And it didn't slow me down. I mean, it scared me, but it put my mental where I feel like I got shot in the face. I can go through anything. You know what I'm saying? So it should have humbled me down, but it made me want revenge, and it just turned me up a little bit more. Because at that age, I'm like, man, I know nobody shoot me in the face, and I ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, not trying to get too deep into, but like, did you ever find out who did it? And like, was you ever made aware of what it was about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I found all that out, but I can't do the name dropping because I ain't never pressed no charges on them. I let it ride because I was gonna retaliate myself.
Okay, so yeah, let's stop right over a minute because like that's the thing, I mean, what is how hard is it, you know what I'm saying, like to keep it low like that, as far as like when somebody do something to you like that, and you
it ain't too hard, it was because my agenda was not to talk about it because I was gonna get revenge and I didn't want too many people to know what I'm thinking about or no co-defenders or nothing like that. So it's something that I really thought about, that I talked to myself over and over, but I never really like got out there and just expressed myself or talked about it to everybody else because I ain't want nobody else in my business. And then when I did decide to make a move, I wanted to be just only me, no people guessing and stuff like that.
Okay. So without once again like getting into that. So you said after that you had to go do some time, or how long how long after that did you have to do time, for like the violations and the other charges?
See, it was after that, I probably say about 2 years after when I first went and sat down for a violation, what they call quick dips and stuff like that. I never did no hard time. It's not like that. Every time I got caught or something and I made bail and they just extended my probation. And then I ain't had the mayor on my side at that time. So yeah, I was just making bonds, getting on probation, you know what I'm saying? And
So then you told me about a situation around the same time where you flipped the car, or you was in the car that flipped 7 times.
yeah, me and my brother, we was out on one of our nights, club hopping and stuff like that. Going from one place, driving to another place, drunk, out of mind, stupid. But then we was leaving the club and it started raining. And I can't even really explain how it happened. But next thing you know, I just felt the car like drift to the side and we ran up the embankment and then rolled back down the embankment. And both of us was in the car hanging upside down and stuff like that. And then of course we was dirty. We had guns on them.
Okay.
I hopped out the car. Well, I crawled out the car. My neck was like this, but I still managed to get the guns out and the drugs that we had and toss them across the street before the police got there. But then after that, I went out. I blanked out. I woke up in the hospital.
How long did you stay in the hospital at that time?
Probably like 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days, and that ain't slow you down either.
Nah. By that time, I felt like the Terminator. I was unstoppable, But like I was drunk that night too, so
yeah.
that's probably, I don't know. It's weird because he was in the car with me. He got knocked out, but his ankle got broke, toe got broke. You know what I'm saying? Same neck fractures, the disc in our necks. But we both woke up. Well, I know I woke up in the hospital, and I started laughing, and I'm all like, "Well, you all right?"
How long you had to stay in the hospital for that? Like, do you had to have any surgeries or?
Nah, I was in the hospital a few days. I want to say I came home that next day evening or the following morning. I know I spent a day in there, but I came home the next day evening or the following morning of the next day.
Okay.
I had a sling on my neck. Had to lay on the floor. That's what the longest was, the recovery. I couldn't once I got home, I got my body stiffened up. So I just had to lay. The bed wasn't comfortable. My mom used to have to make me pallets on the floor in the living room so I can be comfortable and have something to do. And I ain't want to be by myself. I was scared to go to sleep and all that stuff that time.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so but then so after you got back from that, you kind of went right back out there in the streets.
I want to say I didn't give myself time enough to heal because after about 3 weeks of laying on that floor, I was ready to get out of the house. So I was riding around with a neck sling on my neck, doing my thing with my big brother. He and his neck sling with a broken toe. We was outside.
So how old would you say you was then?
About 23, 24.
23, 24. All right. So all right. So now you 33, right? So we'll say that's 10 years ago, right?
Right.
So from then until now, like how would you describe your life from the past 10 years, from that incident to now?
Yeah, I slow myself up a whole lot, but especially when I started having kids. That's like when I got to that stuff. I ain't had no kids, so I started
Uh-huh.
having kids and all that stuff. That would really slow me down, but I was still active. I
Yeah.
was a gang member, active, big homie, whatever. You know what I'm saying? For my team, it wasn't like a real street thing, but I had my circle that I ran with,
Uh-huh.
and so it didn't really slow me down. But like I said, my kids would slow me down, and meeting people and going through situations. They telling me how I'm a barefoot prophet or I got a calling and stuff like that. And then I started realizing like, yeah, I'm here for a reason. That's 2 life attempts. The first shot in the head, then broke my neck, well, fractured my neck, and I'm still here. A lot of people don't get the opportunity. So that's what really made me slow down and go straight for a long time.
So so at some point then you started writing and writing music and performing music. So was you doing that while all this was happening, or did you wait until
Yeah, I ain't really start doing music until like 3 or 4 years ago when we did my movie Black Summer, and my brother Popcorn.
Oh, so that was you. I asked your mama one day, was that you in it? You was Trouble in the movie,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
trouble.
I thought it was you. I seen you a couple of times. And shout out to Popcorn too, man. That was a great movie, man. I hope you watching this, man. Keep doing your thing, bro. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was you and the what's the Ace? Ace.
Ace,
Yeah,
Ace.
yeah. So
Yeah.
how he cast you for that movie?
I mean, we was working with each other already. We had some stuff going on at my warehouse, and we was like, fuck, forget it. This to the movie. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
we didn't have no script. The whole movie was freestyle. We just went off some of my situations in life and some of his situations, and we just tied it in together. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I like the part where we using the cell trying to get at the CEO, But when the one that you right, that was you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean that was
that's my son, my last son, mama.
okay, man. Hey man, that was good job. We gonna shout out to Pop, man. Sharon Jordan Atkinson said so proud of Dan. Y'all definitely, I know y'all proud. We got about 20 minutes, 20 seconds before we take our first station break, but we're gonna be right back. We're gonna get more into the movie, into the music, but also we definitely gonna touch on this most recent incident where God has spared your life once more, man. But y'all stay tuned. 106.9 FM, Awesome Radio.
A silent night? This is Ken Ham celebrating Christmas at Christmastown at the Creation Museum. This week we're looking at the theology of Christmas carols. Today we're thinking about Silent Night. Now this song paints a picture of what it might have been like when Christ was born, describing it as calm and quiet with a sleeping Jesus. Of course, we don't know any of that, and it probably wasn't a silent night. After all, a baby had just been born, and later a group of shepherds would come to visit the Savior. The carol also mentions angels singing, but the Bible doesn't actually mention singing. It says the angels praise God. But the carol does praise Jesus as Lord at his birth. He wasn't just a baby, he was the Lord.
Enjoy a garden of lights, live nativity, and more during Christmastown at the Creation Museum, a free event. Plan your visit when you go to our website at AnswersRadio.com.
This is a Love Language Minute with Dr. Gary Chapman. A listener writes, Gary, my best friend just got married this spring, and while I'm happy for her, I'm dealing with loneliness. How can I overcome this?
It's a common experience. When they get married, obviously you can't spend as much time with them as you did before, but that doesn't mean you can't spend some time, unless, of course, they moved out of state. But you can still text, you can still do face-to-face, you can still talk, you can talk on the phone. So I would say don't feel like the relationship's gone. It's the nature of the relationship has changed, to be sure. The other suggestion would be to take time to make new friends. I know it's hard. I know it takes time, but there are other people out there, other single gals with whom you can have a relationship. Make more friends.
Dr. Gary Chapman is the author of The 5 Love Languages. For more, go to 5lovelanguages.com.
Lord, I hope this ain't your plan for me to die up in these streets. Oh Lord, can you help me?
And we are back here at 106.9 Awesome Radio. Here with my special guest, Daniel Atkinson. And we are talking about, once again, the movie, first of all. So after the movie, is that when you first started rapping, or was you already doing some
Before the movie, I was kind of rapping. I wasn't taking it as serious until I met Popcorn, and just being around it. Just, you know what I'm saying? He had a studio, he had a camera, and I just gravitated to it. And plus I had a story to tell. Then I'm watching them make all this fire music, and like, oh boy, y'all, yeah, I need to do that, you know.
Okay.
And that's what made me really like start taking it serious.
All right. So, and then you say you had a warehouse.
Yeah.
You say at your warehouse. What was the warehouse like?
It was on Goldsboro, East Holly Street. Yeah, I got the warehouse when I started the paintball thing, but eventually, you know, started throwing parties in there and stuff like that. And then we were shooting music videos in there. That's when me and Popcorn first started, you know, like interacting. We started shooting music videos in there.
So that was the warehouse where the where y'all killed the Talik at. Well, I don't know his name in the movie.
Yeah.
At the same warehouse.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the scenes were shot inside the warehouse. And well, if you see us inside, it was inside the warehouse.
Okay.
Yeah. But like I said, a lot of the movie were freestyle. We wake up like, man, we're gonna shoot. We didn't know we were gonna shoot that day. But
so how long did it take y'all to make it from start to finish and then put it together and get it out?
I mean, a good 6 to 8 months. You know, it could have took longer, but your Popcorn, he a beast behind that microphone and that computer. As we were shooting scenes, he might go to the house and go ahead and start working on it and putting it in order, cutting it, editing, and all that stuff. So it really didn't take him long to put it together after we got done shooting. The longest part was trying to get it on YouTube because we had a couple offers that we ain't take for the movie and stuff like that. And then we had our first premiere at show the movie the first time at Premiere Theaters.
Paramount joint, right?
Paramount. Yeah. And then we did it twice. And then we waited a couple more months before we put it on YouTube.
All right. So y'all didn't think the offers was y'all didn't think the offers were big enough?
Yeah, they wasn't big enough.
They weren't big enough. What was like Tubi or something like that, or
yeah,
just like
I'm gonna say like 200, 250.
No, I'm talking about like what agencies? Like, was it like a producer or like?
Yeah, Popcorn has something going on with some guy. They had the where they do like black market movies and stuff like that in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
That's what he was really doing all the talking to them people, but he gave us like the numbers and stuff like that. But first we wasn't gonna do it, but after we thought about it, we're like, man, that's the original movie. Why sell it to somebody else when they can get all the royalties and all that stuff behind it?
Okay.
And plus, they want enough money for us to split and pay everybody who had something to do with the movie. So we just wanted to be fair. And
okay.
So we ain't take no offers.
All right. So explain the paintball thing too. So okay. You told me a little bit about that the first day we talked. So what was the motive behind that in the movement?
It really won't no motive behind it because me and another brother, Waylon, we started shooting at each other in the streets with the paintballs. He
Mhm.
had his team, I had our team, and it just one thing just led to another. We started riding together, shooting people and putting them on videos and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
It, y'all can go see the videos in my group Goat City on Facebook. It's no
Goat City.
yeah, Goat City. That's what I call myself and my team. We was the goats. We had
Uh,
a Spider game, won a whole lot of different games, but eventually everybody came together, and it really stopped the violence in the city for
uh,
a long period of time. Wasn't no breaking in, no real shooting. Wasn't no all the biggest thing people were getting in trouble for was speeding. That was because we was before I came with the rules. We was just in cars everywhere. We might be chasing each other down the car in a car down Slocum doing 80, 90 miles per hour.
okay.
So,
Okay.
but that was the biggest thing we always got in trouble for. But at the end of the day, they couldn't do nothing about it because we was legit and the guns weren't really bothering nobody.
Uh-huh. And they were paintball guns, right? They won't. Yeah.
We had Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, Vice Lords, Mexicans, Heshis, what you call it, what I'm saying? The whole city was behind it. And for once, like everybody was together and won't trying to worry about getting shot with real guns and stuff like that. Old ladies used to hit me up like, yeah, man, thanks to y'all, we can sit outside and cook on the grill. Our kids can walk to the store, and the worst thing that if they do get shot is paint. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then for the people who won't participate and who may have got caught in crossfires like that, especially the vehicles. My cousin Pooh Man, Devontae, the promoter, we gave
Yeah.
him we
Puma.
hit him to the car wash at my warehouse. So when people cars that won't participate and got hit, they had free washes and stuff like that. So we always did what we had to do to. If we shot your house by accident, we couldn't clean your house and might even get your door clean and stuff like that.
So how long did that last? And what time frame was that? Like what year was that? I remember it vaguely.
This was like probably like 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay. And everybody was just having fun.
Yeah, everybody was having fun. And actually, it got bigger than North Carolina because at Goldsboro, but we had people in other states calling us out. They started doing their own thing
Uh-huh.
in different towns. We even had the police involved where we were about to play a 12 on 12 with them, the
Okay.
military, and all that stuff like that. But we had a couple bad apples out the bunch. So
Uh-huh.
some people started shooting BB guns, and that really like messed up the whole movement. But it only messed us up because we couldn't have that free play in the streets like that no more.
Okay.
So Chuck Allen got up with me, and he gave me the warehouse and 100 acres of land to just do the thing on,
Wow.
just to keep it out the streets and stuff like that.
Okay. Shout
And
out
he
to
wanted to make sure that what I was doing, 'cause he saw the positive side on it. He wanted to make sure that I had a hold of that. But everybody that was the BB gang and stuff like that, they were just running wild. Those the ones who catching charges and dumb stuff because they weren't going against the rules. By this time, I had a whole rules set up that made it to the paper and all that stuff. So people had guidelines to go by through the program. It was just like I said, just a couple bad apples out there.
That's all right, man. That's definitely big, man. Tony Futrell says, hello, everyone. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Step C, love it. Glad you're still here, bro. What's up? Tell Mick and Jai said, what up, Stephanie? Hello, Felicia Mitchell. How you doing this week? And my dad said, Roger Taylor, before you were born, God knew you and ordained your life. So thank all of y'all for watching. We got about a minute to our next break. But with that thing, so that stopped, right? So you started. Okay, the name Foolie G. That's what I want. So the rap name was Foolie G, right? Where that name come from? Real quick before we go to break.
my little brother Lonnie Atkinson, free Lonnie Atkinson. He
Uh,
he was always the rapper. You know what I'm saying?
uh,
He flew, freestyle battling and all that stuff like that was him. So
uh,
one day was in the studio, we called ourselves Building Our Own, and I just went to rapping, and he was like, "Boy, you a fool." And
okay.
then, like I say, the G come from me being Crip and a
G,
big homie. So it's like you took the G out, when the O out, put the G, put Foolie G.
G. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
We about to go to our last break, man. Y'all stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Awesome Radio 106.9 FM.
As the world gets more secular, parents need to stand up for their children. You'll want to hear this.
Today's legal case is from the files of the Christian Law Association. Here's attorney David Gibbs Jr.
Lonnie's son was in the public school and he was shocked when his son arrived home one day and informed him that the bus driver had told him that his belief in creationism simply wasn't true, that it was a myth, that it was false. The parent was angered, but he was unsure of what to do. He called our attorneys at the Christian Law Association. We told him that this bus driver was absolutely out of place and in the wrong. The public school cannot, by law, belittle or invalidate the religious beliefs of any student. Let me repeat that. The law makes it clear. Public school officials, including bus drivers, cannot belittle or invalidate the religious beliefs of students. Lonnie had every right to take this matter up with the school administration to ensure that this bus driver didn't do this again. And when he approached the authorities, they agreed with him 100%.
Call the Christian Law Association 24 hours a day for legal support. Call 888-252-1969. That's 888-252-1969. Our website is christianlaw.org.
How well do you know your neighbors? Or do you know them at all? I'm Lena Ebijammer, and this is Today's Single Christian. My friend Sue lives in a town of 800. When I heard how small her town was, I assumed she would know her neighbors or almost every single person in her town. Imagine my shock when she told me that though she has lived in her town for almost a decade, Sue only knows about 1 out of 800 people. I was blown away until I thought about my own neighborhood and how little I know of my neighbors. Though there may be a million people in Chicago, my job isn't to know them all, but to love my neighbors, just a handful of people on my street, or that guy in the cubicle at work, or anyone I rub shoulders with on any given day. How well do you know your neighbors? If they were going through a crisis, would they know to come to you for prayer? Let's be better neighbors from now on. Let's step out of our comfort zones and love like never before. For more resources to help you thrive, visit todaysinglechristtian.com or email me at lena@todaysinglechristtian.com.
Yes, and we are back here on Awesome Radio 106.9 FM. Back with the U-Turn Show. My special guest, Daniel Atkinson, aka Foolie G, aka Raquel T. Johnson. Where you get that? Where you get that Facebook name from, man? If you care to go into it.
See, it all stems back when I was younger, running the streets. I ain't know nothing about Facebook at first. But I did make a page. I ain't want my real name on it.
I figured that.
Yeah.
So yes,
it grew on me. After a while, I started posting my pictures up there, my face. I said, "Dog, they already know who I am now." But the name stuck with me.
Okay. I was like, I ain't never heard of this dude when you reached out to him, but then I was like, okay, we know a lot of same people, so but I definitely know who you is now. So let's get to this recent incident, man. You had already started, turning your life around, doing some things, with the music and stuff. So tell everybody what went down on September the 4th. This last incident.
Well, yeah, I was supposed to go to Havelock and open up for not open up, but do a show for Mike Jones. He was gonna be in the building. I was on the calls for that night, but I ended up turning around and coming back to the house because it was communication between me and the guy who I was going to go there and do the show for. So I come back to the house, me, my girl and my brother, we decided to go out to Danny's in Smithfield to eat some food and whatnot. So on the way back from Danny's, we was on the way to the house. And as soon as something just told me to just look behind me. But I always look in my mirrors anyway when I was on driving. So when I look in the mirror, I see the pow, 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 the muzzle flashes from the gun. But by that time, I was already hit. So I was hit watching them continue to shoot at me. But I didn't know that the tire had blew out or they hit the side of the car or none of that because I was already hitting the head. Once I noticed I didn't even notice I was hitting the head until I was hit, you know what I'm saying? But during that process, I managed to stop the car, put it in park and all that stuff. Then my legs went completely out. If my legs didn't go out, I would have ran into somebody's house or out there in the middle of the highway or stuff like that.
So when the bullet's going off, what do you think? What's going through your head?
It wasn't nothing really because I was already hit by that time. I was my body was numb, but my mind was well aware of what was going on.
Okay.
So it's like.
So did you duck down or did you just like?
No, I couldn't do nothing. Soon as I got hit in the head, I didn't know I got hit in the head, but I knew I did because my body just gave out. So just like wandering eyes. I'm just sitting there in the passenger seat with my eyes just looking around and stuff like that. So yeah, it wasn't really nothing I could do at that point in time. If I could get out and run, I probably would have stuff like that.
What was the other passengers doing? Though you say you had your girl and your home, your brother. So what was they doing on the time?
They was ducked down. And you know, that's what anybody would do when you in the car. If I wasn't driving, I'd have been ducked down too.
So when you realize you hit and then the gunshot start going, then what happened next? What you do? Like did they drive you to the hospital or what happened?
The car wouldn't move because they shot the tires out too. And they couldn't get me out the car. By that time my dead weight done kicked in. Like I was, you know what they say about dead weight, you get heavier. Yeah. They couldn't get me out the driver's seat of the car. So I just lay there and I remember my girl and my brother like, he hit. They thought I was hit in the shoulders. But I'm leaking out the back of my head. It's just coming down. I'm just like this, looking at my shoulders and my everything was just blood was just gushing.
So did you know you was hit in the head or you just knew you was hit?
I didn't know I was hit in the head.
You didn't, cause like I said, I've been shot a few times. You don't feel it, you don't feel it. You just see the blood.
I didn't know I was hit in the head. See, my girl and my brother thought that I was hit in the side or my shoulder. But my brother, he was like, man, he hit in the back of the head. The bullet had went through the back of my cap, my hat and stuff.
Oh man.
So then I was like, then it really got me concerned. I'm like, oh, I just got hit in the head. Like, is this it for me? I don't want to go out sad and crying. I didn't cry. I didn't panic because I knew if I would have panicked, I would have died. Yeah. I just tried to keep myself like as humble as possible without even, like I said, I was expressive. I didn't cry or none of that. I kept hearing my mama and them come out there, so I really started smiling even harder. Like I say, I ain't know if I was gonna die or not, so I ain't want to die with crying or with a frown on my face and nothing like that. So I just smiled through the whole time. Then when I got to the hospital, I started cracking jokes and all that stuff like that. And it was like, man, you hit in the head, you need to calm down. By that time, my adrenaline went to pumping because they gave me something. And the whole time when the paramedics came and got me out the car and laid me on the ground, I was laughing, I was smiling because I ain't want it ain't that I'm trying to say that I'm tough or nothing, but I just didn't want to die crying or with a frown on my face. So I just smiled the whole time, smirked and stuff like that.
So did you actually think you was about to die?
It crossed my mind because like I was going in and out. I really was, and that's what made me like try to stay woke because I ain't want to fade out and not come back.
Okay.
So I just try to keep my eyes open and thinking about my kids and stuff like that, and trying not to panic and trying not to get my blood pumping harder than what it was. I remember trying to slow my heart down so I won't bleed out.
You remain calm.
Yeah.
So you get to the hospital, then what happened? Like what they do?
They Memorial couldn't do too much for me, but patched my head up, gave me some medicine, and then they put me on the helicopter to go to Greenville, and I remember passing out in the helicopter, waking up invited in the emergency room and stuff like that. They're operating on me.
So they did have to operate on you?
Yeah, for the first night, just to stop the bleeding and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, they did a thing.
Go ahead.
So yes, they did a thing, but I got invited, and that's when I really realized that I couldn't walk or control my bladder or stuff like that. That they had to be hooked up to a piss machine or the catheter, what you call it.
Yeah.
Then I couldn't dookie on my own. Excuse my French, but you know what I'm saying. It was just a free fall. You know what I'm saying too.
Wow. So,
yeah.
So all right. So you said you let it in. So now but are you still thinking your life in danger though, or okay, well I'm gonna live, or you know what I'm saying, were you more focused about what you couldn't do?
When I first got in there, it's like I knew I was okay, but I knew I was okay because I was aware the whole time until I got on the helicopter and until they got in to do the procedure. But so I knew I was gonna survive somewhat, but I didn't know that my legs and all that stuff was out of me. I couldn't move my legs, move my toes, and none of that stuff like that. And that's what worried me the most because I'm an independent guy. I like to get out and make my own money and take care of my peers. So when they told me that about my legs and me possibly never walking again, that's what really like hurt me the most. And then for me to land there trying to get up and can't move my legs or walk or you know what I'm saying, can't in that hospital bed. Yeah, that what really got me to going.
So let me ask you, how long because you mentioned like you had got kind of low, you know what I'm saying? You had got kind of low in that mood when you start realizing, you couldn't do what you wanted to do. How long did you stay in that mindset? And then what brought you out of that mindset?
I stayed in that mindset about the first week and a half. Like that, I was just down. I was thinking like, man, it's over for me. I ain't gonna be myself. I can't get up and walk. I'm be in a wheelchair the rest of my life. I'm on this piss bag. I can't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. That what really had me down. But talking to my mama and my family, I had some friends inboxing me and stuff like that, just motivating me, just keeping me up. And then I told myself like, yeah, I'm gonna get up and walk. I'm gonna get up and do this. I'm gonna get up and do that. And I had to install it in myself.
Definitely.
Like I said, the first 2 weeks that I was in the hospital, my bullet wound had closed by itself. They don't know how I did it. I don't know how I did it. They call me Wolverine.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how they did it, but I know how God did it. But
okay.
I was confused at the time myself, just like the doctors and the nurses. And they got me in physical therapy, and I started just doing stuff. But when I first started physical therapy, I couldn't keep my balance. I couldn't sit up. I'd fall back down. It was just bad. So I had to fight through it. And they put me in that pool a couple times, and my nerves started gradually coming back to me. I started moving my toes, then I started moving my legs, and it gradually like just started going from there. I had to just keep that mentality up that I ain't gonna be laid down like this, or I ain't gonna be down forever. But now I can stand up on my own. I can, so I can do pretty much everything, but I'm still in the wheelchair. My left side is my body's the weakest.
Okay. Your mom Tanya Atkins said God did it. That's right, God did it. My brother Dub Brody said, "Shout out, what's up, Tanya? Shout out to Tanya. Your assignment is not complete."
Yeah, she kept me in there. She kept me in there. Him and her, God and my mama and everybody else who checked on, but God, my mom, and my kids. That's all I thought about. I ain't gonna flex.
Okay, so definitely Felicia Mitchell says, "Thank you, God, for covering your son with your shield and protection. Bless you in every way, young man. You have a definitely purpose." That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you definitely do. Patricia, last of my kind war, much love. You are blessed. Only way is up. Also Adriana Best says, "I love you." Alan.
Yes, my sister. Yeah, I love you too, girl.
That's your sister?
Yeah.
What's up, sis?
And my little big sister.
Okay, Alan Akbar.
Yes,
Sis,
my
sister. That's it.
It's all family. Yes, I love you too.
I appreciate it. So you got that family around you, right? So you get out the hospital. So now, you still go to physical therapy, right?
Every week.
Every week.
And when I don't go there, I work out in the comfort of my own home. I've been buying stuff I need so I can. When I don't go to physical therapy, I still can be working on my legs and stuff like that, trying to get right.
So miracles happen every day. Definitely keep trusting God. Yeah, we already know, man. Just because you still here, like you gonna walk again, just because. Go ahead. He's about to say. Yeah, I mean it's a given, man. Like I said, you come from a family that know God, praying God. So we already knew.
I swear to God, I got a praying family. I don't mean to say that, but they held me down.
So let me ask you though. So with this situation, 'cause I know, like I said, I got shot 3 times, so to my daughter. So I know that that definitely sent me running to the church. You know what I'm saying? But I think I was 30. You know what I'm saying? So then I think I had brain surgery at like 35. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of incidents, but I still kind of still dibble and dabble, went back and forth. So so did you ever? How has this brought you close to God, or realizing that I gotta really give something, you know what I'm saying? I gotta give it up.
Yeah, it brought me closer to God because it showed me that all I've been through and I'm still here. So it ain't nobody else but God. So I give him the praise for the most part, for all the part. But the rest of it, I don't know. It's just God, because a lot of people don't survive stuff I've been through or live to talk about it. And remind you, I've been shot in the head twice. I'm not a vegetable. I'm not slow. You know what I'm saying? I'm a quick thinker. And I'm still doing the same stuff, like music-wise, positive, that I was doing before I got shot. Only thing it took from me is my legs. And I'm about got them back.
Yeah, you definitely got them back. So even whenever you got shot in the head, like you ain't lose no memory. You ain't start stuttering. You can hear good. You can smell good. You can see good. Everything is 100%.
Right.
So
except for my legs. Except for my legs. That's it.
Oh yeah, that's gonna come back. So if y'all listen to this, man, and y'all ain't y'all don't believe in God, man, y'all, you definitely I don't know what's wrong with you, but I know this young man has definitely got a purpose, on your life. So of course they told you you'll never walk again. So what are they saying now? With the progress you making, what are they saying now?
Like I say, they call me Wolverine. They expected me to walk any minute. See, last time I went to physical therapy, I used to go to physical therapy in my wheelchair, but now I use my walker. And now they got me walking in the hallways with holding the walker over my head, taking steps. So it's getting better and better. And like I say, thanks for the people, thanks for God for most of the part, but thanks for the people at Vidant for being patient with me. Even though when I ain't mornings I ain't feel like getting up, I got up and went there because I ain't want to be just laying around depending on people, stuff like that.
So when you was invited, they took you to physical therapy every day. Was it every day?
Every day. They when I wake up at 7 or 8 in the morning, they want to see you wash your face and brush your teeth, do all this stuff like that. They want to make sure that before they release you, there's certain stuff you can do on your own. But like I told them, like they got their ways of doing stuff. I got my ways of doing mine. So they worked around what was easy and more convenient for me, and it helped me out instead of going through a routine that, you know what I'm saying, that
really feel it.
Yeah. So they worked with me on my routine and let me basically just pick what I wanted to work out on. They might have it set up for me, but they like the local mat, this machine that I run on, but I couldn't. That help out too, the local mat. There's a lot of stuff they try to make me do that I wasn't comfortable doing. Like they try to come in there and make sure you take your bath. Like I take my bath, you know, so you ain't got to wash me and stuff like that. So yeah. They call me Wolverine just because I'm healing too fast. They said they never seen nobody really heal like this. I got shot in my head September the 3rd. I was at the hospital September 27th.
That wasn't even a full month.
Right. My hole done closed in the back of my head. I'm doing like holding my balance now and stuff like that. But it came back to me whenever I go back to physical therapy. I sit in the house and work out. It's even though I might do like 3 or 4 leg pumps and I'd be exhausted, but before I couldn't do that. And now I can do 10 leg pumps, 20, whatever. But it's just getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, definitely. So you said the left side is a little bit weaker than the right side.
Yeah, my right side is like 90%. My left side is like 22.
All right, so we're gonna keep the show going because I still got a few more questions. But I got 30 seconds on the radio. What would you tell the audience on the radio before we go? In about 20 seconds.
Trust in God, man. Trust the process, and you know, don't let nothing keep you down, man. Just if you gotta do what you gotta do to stay alive. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Thank y'all, man, for joining us on the radio. Don't go nowhere on the social media because I definitely got a few more questions about what's going on. But y'all join us next year because this is the last show of the year. But we want to thank everybody who is listening on the radio for a year. We'll see y'all next year. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear
me? Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, so we back on the social media. Tanya Atkinson says September 4th released on September 29th. So that's it. That's about 25 days. So definitely. So who has been most instrumental in helping you, you know, now? You know, like what's been your motivating source and who helps you? You know, I know, like you said, you're independent. So, you know, I know you probably still try to do everything by yourself.
My mama, my girl, my kids. You know, I got a brother. My brother Chris. He been a help to me for real. He really. I'm really the crazy one, but he the crazy one. To see him trying to humble himself down to make sure I'm good. Yeah, that motivated me a lot. Just like Howard trying to protect him from the streets when he was younger. Now he protected me, trying to keep my mind sane. Because I ain't gonna lie, it be a lot of stress and depression. Some days I want to get up, can't make moves and stuff like that, and it gets hard. But I shall overcome that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just stay patient, man. Like you said, man, it's a scripture that says, "Those that wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not get weary. They shall walk and not faint." So that's definitely what I see in you, man. Be patient. You can be walking. You can be running. You can keep doing, what you're doing. And so yeah. So how many kids do you got? How many kids? I hear them in the background.
Yeah, 3. Josiah, Blessing, and Mozzie. 2 boys and 1 girl. I love them to death.
Mozzie, that's a little girl.
Mozzie is my little boy. Blessing is my little girl.
Okay. All right. So I guess I get back to like the mind state, man. It said accountable black woman says, please keep sharing your testimony. We need to hear it. Definitely it's an inspiration, man. Like I said, like you, when I shared the video, you got so many people who I guess know you, pulling for you, so I mean, definitely speaks to your character as a good person. But I do want to go back to the shooting though, because I know we was talking beforehand, right? You was like, well, you found out kind of it was an accident and everything, like somebody had some.
Yeah, that's what they trying to pump in my ear. Like they don't want to give me no real information because, like I say, due to my past, they know how wild I can get, and it's hard to yell if I let anything slide. So I don't know if there's any truth to that or that's what people are trying to install in my head. Like I said, I don't know who did it, or but some people of mine, some people I used to deal with, they know who did it, but they don't want to tell me. So I look at them like not the same no more. But at the same time, they saving somebody's life.
Yeah, yeah. And so even like you said, the guys used to run with, the little homies that look up to you. Like, how have they treated you? Like, had they been trying to help out, or or have you kind of backed away from everything?
I mean, I backed away from some of them, from the ones who I feel like won't really in my corner, but it's a few of them who held me down, text me, make sure I'm all right, ask me if I ate today or something. People cash at me sometimes, just a meal on me, or you know what I'm saying. But for the most part, like half the people I used to deal with, I don't deal with them no more because they ain't all the way solid. Like when I was coming up, these the people who held a secret from me. These the people that I housed. I gave money to bail them out of jail. Whatever situation they went through, I was there with them. But I just felt like the love won't the same in my situation, especially this time. Especially, especially I'm going through. So yeah, I don't deal with them like that no more. And it's not no hate in my heart, nothing, but you just not for me. I can't deal with you no more. And to keep I kept a lot of homies who's ready to go retaliate on anything moving. I'm like, no, we ain't gonna do that because we ain't gonna burn the city down trying to get one individual. We ain't gonna make ourselves hot trying to get one individual. And plus, I don't know who did it, so it'd be dumb to go out there and crash out and stuff like that. So, and they understand that too, and that's where my brother come in, because like he trying to protect me, but he don't know who really did it, nothing like that. But he know my mind, so he trying to make sure my mind is there. But I got to make sure also his mind is there too, so he won't go out there and do nothing crazy. Yeah. So it's like the family was keeping me together, and we like really glued to each other.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man, and I know it's like a touchy situation because like who's to say? Like I can't even say like what I would want to do. Somebody hurt something or me or somebody in my family. So I definitely understand that fact. So I just take
to go back to what I used to do. Or it takes. Man, I done sit here and Daniel cry because I want revenge so bad, but so I can't just do that because I don't know who did it. And then another thing, if I feel like I do try to get revenge, it's gonna be an ongoing cycle because I'm not gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? I'm already there, so I try not to get that way. And that's when my peers come in again because, like I said, they know how I think, so they try to make sure I'm good and stuff like that. And like I say it's all a blessing because at one point in time I wanted to slide in my wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? I ain't care. I feel like I ain't had nothing to lose, but my people saved me. God saved me. My people saved my mental. And even though I got shot in the head, like I said, I'm not no vegetable.
Man, you still here, bro. You still got future, man. I see it. I see it.
All that positive stuff just that keeps me above water too.
Yeah, your mom said, "Look, God brought you too far. Vengeance is the Lord's." Definitely, God is watching out for you. Keep focusing on your healing and your relationship with God. Shemaine Langston said, "Glued tight, definitely glued tight."
Yeah, that's my cousin right there.
Because my brother was shot in the face with an assault rifle about 10 years ago. He knew who did it, and he said his son made him not retaliate. But it was hardest thing in the world for him to do. Definitely,
it's hard when somebody almost take your life.
Yeah,
it's hard just to let it go.
All right. So look, but this is the question I was getting at though, right? Because I was, so like I grew up in Goldsboro, and I know, like, just how things go sometimes, right? So we had the same situation that kind of y'all got going on as far as like you said, like, you hear the people had a mistake and they had some problems with people from the other side. They may have thought you was them, whatever. So the other side, right? So that means like, that the other side of the neighborhood. Huh?
North End.
And we had the same beef. Like, even though, and this is the question I want to ask, like, so you mentioned middle school, right? And I used to think about this same thing when I was running out the streets, and I had friends who was, at each other's throat, but I was cool with both of them, but one stayed on this side and one stayed on that side. We had this crazy beef. But I'm thinking, like, everybody, like you mentioned middle school, so everybody went to the same middle school, right? If you on North End or if you on Webside, you going to the same high school, you going to the same middle school. So how can you people that you grew up with all of a sudden just be like, okay, now since I stay on this side of town, we arch enemies and we willing to kill each other?
See, when I was over there living on the other side of town, everybody went to Dillard Middle School or Goldsboro High School, so it was always a thing. Dillard Middle School just became a academy, like a behavior school or something like that.
Yeah,
it was. When I was going to school, it was Goldsboro Middle School and Dillard Middle School.
Okay,
I attended both, so I was cool with both sides of the parties. You know what I'm saying? It's just like people my age that I grew up with from either side, we kind of mature a little bit. We know what's going on versus like the new age, the new generation of got cats who trying to get a name for themselves, or they haven't been through what a lot of people went through to slow them down. They ain't got kids, or so they ain't have homies who done got killed. But a lot of them do now. But I guess it hits you with age.
Okay. So
yeah.
So and like, because it's another hard question too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get your opinion on it because I say when I was looking up some of the rappers around here. You know what I mean? And I looked up. It was like they had Kuwap, rest in peace Kuwap. They had this video up there. I think they had like some other cat, Stack Sosa. They had a few guys that they was
Stack Sosa, Kuwap from North.
Few videos all put together about people around here. But one thing I noticed, and once again, I ain't judging because I've been there too. One thing I noticed that everybody had sticks in the video, and they they're talking about what they're gonna do with the sticks, and so how do you think that music plays a part in bringing that influence to real life? And why is it so easy for us to bring that death on each other?
Yeah, I think between both sides, we done took so many L's, we done been through so much crap and stuff like that. We feel like we got to have a gun to protect us, or you gonna be the next person in the box. Like a lot of people I roll with or did roll with, they rather be in jail than dead. They're ready for their kids to come see them behind a wall, then talk to them through the ground and get no response at all. So that's a lot of people in Brown mentality, and a lot of people have been through stuff where they feel like they got to carry a gun, and a lot of people who carry guns won't use them. It's just for show.
They won't use them.
They won't use them. Yeah, they just for show to get some cool points or whatever. But people got guns and ain't got bail money or shit like stuff like that. So, but like I say, everybody feel like they gotta protect themselves because it been a war going on so long from both sides. It just stemmed from generation to generation.
Definitely.
And by the time this generation come around, they don't know what the first generation was beefing about. The second generation don't know. So it's an ongoing thing. Just I'm from the north, he from the west. We beefing instead of just we Goldsboro. Let's get some money together and do that.
Do something, and it ain't just Goldsboro neither. Like it's Norfolk, like Berkeley and Park Place. You know what I'm saying? Like just everywhere you go, it's the same thing with us.
Yeah, that's they call it the East Side, but you got people from the north and Welltown who got affiliates on the East Side. The main beef is North End of Welltown. Anybody else is just affiliate or somebody trying to get down. So yeah, we ain't really got too many problems from people out there from Eastern Wayne or the East out there like that. We do got problems where we did have problems, and for sure them people over there got problems too. But at the same time, they got people they rock with on the East Side, just like we do. So it's like the main beef is really like North End, Welltown, Blood and Crip stuff like that.
So how do you think, or do you ever think that we can, you know what I'm saying, like just really come to realize what we doing to each other and just be like, all right, man, it ain't worth it, or you know what I'm saying? Or how can
I tried it when I did that paintball thing. I had Bloods, Crips, everybody rocking together. But you know, some people history's deeper than others. Some people actually lost people who dead or in jail and stuff like that. That's both sides. What it's gonna take is for like all the big homies to come together from different sets and try to push a new agenda down that it ain't North End or Welltown, Goldsboro. We here together, you know what I'm saying? We taking each other out too fast, then next thing you know, and it ain't gonna be, it's gonna be a lot of fatherless kids out here or stuff like that. If the right people don't step up, say let's kill it, or let's kill the beef, let's do that, let's do this, let's turn this generation around. But everybody pride too big, and like I say, some people have really lost some people they really love to this stuff. So it's deep.
So, cause I know I was on Facebook the other day and I seen somebody say something like, yeah, it's a lot of good rappers in Goldsboro. Everybody should just come together.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? Just do a joint where it's to bring the whole, like I said, the city together, because there's so much talent, so many ideas, so many great minds. Instead of us just, you know, compartmentalize, as they call it. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna stay in this section, you stay in this section, I'm gonna stay in this section, and you know, we all against each other. So like we can make more money together than we can apart.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. It's like it's a lot of people in Welltown that I wouldn't mind working with, like doing music wise and stuff like that. But it's just it's what's been going on that's hindering it. It's like a trust issue. Mm-hmm. Like you ain't about to get me over there and set me up, and they feel like you ain't about to get them over here to set them up. But that's why I say it's gonna take like some big leaders or people that got a lot of stain out here in these streets from each side to pull them together. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard because it's been going on for so long.
So what about, like, say you got family in the, you know what I'm saying? Because I know it's like, you know, Goldsboro a small town, so you might got family over there. So is they automatically ops, or is they just like, you know, can you go visit them, or you know?
Yeah, I could go anywhere I want to.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Yeah, I don't feel that, man. And I have had, when I was out there running the streets, I might go through Welltown on some dumb stuff, and I might see one of my cousins out there. Then I tell my homies don't do it, because I know at the end of the day it's going to affect my family and stuff like that. So I don't condone it whenever I see my peers out there. But if I see somebody I don't know, it was open game. But my cousins and them, I never, it been plenty of times I could have, but I always call it off.
So like, and you know, like I said, once again, I get it, because you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I was running around like that too. But you mentioned something like, you know, I see my family out there, like, you know, you just your blood family, right? So why can't we look at everybody as family? Like, even like me and you, we ain't family, but I know your mama. You know what I'm saying? So I look at you as family now. You know what I'm saying? So just because we look alike, just because we came up, you know, just because we deal with the same struggles, or you know what I'm saying? Why can't we consider everybody as family? Well,
see, you know, it's deep, because a lot of people we don't from both sides, we done lost a lot of people, and we done did so much stuff to each other that, you know, sometimes that's all you think about is get off before they get you. And some people, like, I know some people who were shooters, you know what I'm saying, and really had beef out here, and they settled down. You know, they overcame the issue because they knew it was a bigger picture. But like I say, it's really just the younger generation who trying to make a name for themselves or something like that, and that's from both sides. You know, people on this side that's young and dumb, people over there that's young and dumb, and then the older people condone it. They don't try to say, nah, that ain't right. They ain't right. They fast enough to pass them some bullets. Something, or they quick enough to pull the gun out and lose their whole life, and then they ain't got to die. I mean, they can it take 2 seconds to make a wrong move that get you killed or locked up in jail. Life. So, like I said, it's a lot of stuff that can be done to the situation. People just got to put their pride to the side and want to live.
Definitely, that's big right there. You said a mouthful, pride to the side, like you said, like, you know, somebody do something to me, I gotta do something back to him. Not really, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I had a homeboy, you know what I'm saying? Well, I had a few homeboys that just did it, and then they, you know, when after they did it, they like, oh man, what did I just do? And they ain't gonna tell you that though, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna tell you that when you know, when the judge give them that 30 or, you know, that double life, that's when it really hit. Like, I'm talking about, man, I just visited the prison, like, you know what I'm saying, cats, you know, for 30 years. And like, when
people you do it for ain't gonna come see you or send you nothing.
Yeah. Like that. I'm talking about, they begging for parole. Like, man, they keep going back and forth to the parole board. Like, man, I've been here 30 years, man. You know, I hope they give it to me this time. See, that's what, you know what I'm saying? That's what they ain't gonna show you. You know what I'm saying? It sound good. You know what I'm saying? It sound, you know, free the guys, free the gang. It sound good. Oh yeah, he did that. All right, okay. But you know, when reality hit and you've been in there like 10, 15 years, and you know you got 15, 20 more to go, that's when it's be like, all right, dang. You know what I'm saying? So
some people can't even sit in there a week without telling on somebody else. So why are you even putting yourself in a predicament, you know?
Let's get on that. So because, you know what I'm saying, like I hear a lot, you know what I'm saying, about people telling this stuff, and you know, they like, you know what I'm saying, I don't think it was this much telling back in the day, or maybe it was, we just didn't know, like, you know. So how, you know what I'm saying, how can the guy just do something and then just go, you know what I'm saying, just go tell, and then, you know, be out and kind of walking free with nothing, you know, nothing kind of done to him, and not condoning something be done to him, but you know what I'm saying, it's just like, it's more accepted now.
Nowadays they don't worship or glorify real people, real steppers. It's you can tell on somebody the day get out tomorrow, they act like you never told on nobody. You know, It's just I don't know. That's strange. I find that strange because once you tell on somebody, you no longer a street nigga. You a civilian now.
Yeah, yeah.
People should look at you like that then, or instead of yeah, that's my man. He put in that work, or he got this, he got that. You know what that man just told on somebody.
Yeah.
That man upstate, and he out. You know what I'm saying? There's some people, man. Some people so slick with this snitching stuff. They ain't got to tell on you themselves. They'll put their mans on you. They'll tell Shorty over here, and she tell them, and it just spread. You know what I'm saying? But the information got out through you.
Okay, I got you.
It don't. A lot of people around here is really using that method because it don't come back on them. But the information came from out your mouth. It just got passed on to it got to the right ear. But a lot of people, yeah, you be surprised. Goldsboro full of snitches, man. That's why.
I already, like I said, my ear be to the street, and I just be like, man, I'm glad they ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad they ain't, you know what I'm saying? Ain't even in that circle, so ain't, you know what I mean? Because, like you said, you never know who to trust. You know what I'm saying? Like these days, where I be hearing, like I wouldn't do nothing around. If I was doing something, I would be somewhere else. Well, man, definitely, man. But so okay, so where do you know what I'm saying? So what's in the future for you, man? Like I said, like you know, cause like me, I'm gonna go ahead and be like, I had a hard head for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been shot at 18, was shot at 30. You know what I'm saying? Had brain aneurysms, falsely accused, all that, and it took a long time for me. Like you said, I had brain surgery, and you know what I'm saying? I was supposed to die and be paralyzed and stuff. 10 days later, I walk out the hospital like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. That's how crazy I was, right? So I say that to say, you know what I'm saying, like when God heal you, you know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking that He gonna heal you to walk again. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna how you gonna take care of this, you know, or use this like ninth chance? It ain't no second chance for you. It's like
I'm gonna use it as a stepping stone to better myself, to try to make myself stay out of situations on. I'm gonna stop moving after a certain time of the day. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I plan on. I see myself in the future as a business owner. You know what I'm saying? Multi-business owner. You know what I'm saying? Multi-millionaire. So I can't really dwell on the past because it's gonna hinder my future.
Okay.
I'm really just thinking about my kids, make sure they're good, family, business minded. I always been business minded. So that's why I see myself at in a few years, and just better walking, taking care of my family, and with a few more businesses under my belt.
Yeah, man. Like I said, but I see it like you know, anything that I can do, you know what I'm saying, to pretty much, you know, if you think of anything I can help you with, you know, let me know, you know, so whatever you got in mind. You know what I'm saying? If I know the resources, whatever, help you put it together. I'm ready for the movie, man. When y'all gonna do another movie, man? When y'all gonna do Black Summer 2?
We've been talking about it and working on it, but this one is gonna be a lot better than the first one. I mean, don't get me wrong, the first one is original, but we just freestyle it. But this one we're gonna plan on writing the script, getting the scenes and all that stuff, and in order before we even pick the cameras up. We're gonna have the whole shebang bang laid out and stuff like that. We're gonna have auditions for the cast and stuff like that.
Yeah, y'all maybe I'm gonna go home and watch that joint tonight, matter of fact, man. I'm gonna go ahead and try. God, that one of the cousin that was cousin, that cousin was real funny. Cause it was somebody's cousin. It was somebody's cousin that came in. He was, you know what I'm saying, he was kind of, but you know what I'm saying, he was like a scammer. You know what I'm saying? I think that one of somebody named Cuz in the movie or something like that.
Yeah,
it was Ace cousin or something. I think it was Ace cousin. Ace was trying to. Oh no, I gotta watch it again.
Yeah.
I gotta go home and watch that joint again, man. But
yeah, that movie was a whole lot of fun. Like I said, we just freestyled it. But this one, we really gonna sit down behind the computer and generate what we didn't know then until what we know now, and it's gonna be a whole lot of good stuff coming out of it.
Yeah, man.
We got the Prophecy up too. You know, that's the Prophecy, one of our movies. That's on YouTube.
Prophecy. That's like, is that a science fiction joint? Is that like?
Well, it's like it's not science fiction. You seen the movie Left Behind when
Oh yeah, I seen that joint. Yeah, I seen that joint. Yeah, it was sort of like the dude was walking around and he was home. He had got shot in the head, right?
I'm the one who shot him in the head at the store.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He was a
hustler.
drug dealer and stuff like that. He kept squeezing in on my turf. So I called him one day and we got into it at the store. But then I tried to kill him, but he survived. But during his process, he turned over to God. But a lot of people think he was crazy because he was going around walking the streets and telling people get your life right and stuff like that. People ain't listened to him because they thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
But he knew God was coming. And then the movie,
my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got say so. Yeah, and see that's what I like about Pop. But once again, shout out to Pop, man, cause he go back to his spiritual roots, man. Definitely, man. He, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, he you know what I mean, he always talk about, you know, God and salvation in his raps and doing the right thing. Like I said, I'll be the first to say it's, you know what I'm saying, it ain't hard, it ain't the easiest thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Battling, you know, right and wrong, because it's so easy to do wrong, you know what I'm saying? But it's harder to do right. So, you know, I want to commend you, you know, for trying to do right and taking the right strides, man. And, you know, I know it's going to definitely work out for you. You know, whatever you put your mind to, man, I'm telling you, like, this ain't no, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't here like this. Like I said, shot in the head twice, bro. You know what I'm saying? People don't live in that, or people don't be right. You know what I'm saying? You right here, right, laughing, joking, with the same mentality. The lie, I ain't gonna let this feed me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be walking again. So we're gonna speak all that over you, man. And you know, I just want to encourage you, you know, man, just to keep, you know, just keep the faith, you know, stay around the fam, think about your kids on every move you do, you know what I'm saying? Think about your family, the ones that love you. So, you know what I'm saying? You can definitely be here for them, man.
Most definitely think about them and the Most High.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else you want to leave with the audience, man? Cause I know I'll be up all night and you got to take the ride back to Goldsboro. But, you know, if anything else you want to leave with the audience before we go?
I just want to say, man, for all the supporters out there who tapped in with me, make sure my mental was strong, make sure I was good in any type of way. I appreciate it. Don't give up on yourself. It's never over till God call you. And other than that, you can make it through anything, you know. Definitely. And time is a virtue. Patience is key. And whatever you're doing, just do it to the utmost of your ability.
Yeah, man. So I definitely want to thank everybody, you know, for tuning in to this story. I hope this story blessed and encouraged, you know, everybody. And before we go, the movie's called The Prophecy, and it is on YouTube. So, but before we go, man, if everybody would join with me in a moment of prayer for my brother, if y'all don't mind, before we go, I just want to pray that, you know, that God, first of all, we thank you for, you know, this time of communion and fellowship with you. We thank you for my brother here who's allowed us to share his testimony. We thank you for your covering him and delivering him and saving him. And we pray, oh Father, Lord, that these incidents, oh Father, Lord, these eye-opening experiences, oh Father, Lord, will not only be a light to him, but a light to others to show your grace and your mercy. And we pray right now for divine healing in every part of his body. We declare that he will walk, that the legs, the nerves in his legs, the muscles, the cells, the joints, the tendons will rehabilitate and be restored as you have designed them to operate. And we believe these things because you said that if we ask anything, believing, we shall receive it. So we speak complete restoration, complete healing, complete rehabilitation of my brother Daniel's legs, and we pray that you will bless him in everything he do. And we thank you and we praise you and we believe these things already done. Amen. 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 Thank you, brother, man, for sharing. And like I said, anytime you want to come back, just let me know. And, let me know what you got going on as far as projects concerned. And, man, I just appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Definitely, I appreciate you.
Have me on. Let me share my experience, man. Hope we keep some people out the streets, man. And like I say, thank God, man. Put God first with everything you do. You're going to need him.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We're going to see y'all next year. Like I said, this going to be the last show of the year. The last 2 weeks, take off and do a little bit of relaxing, celebrating. But once again, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in, tapping in with us tonight. There's too many names to go back through, but we definitely thank y'all, and I hope y'all will join us next year. We're gonna move the show to Wednesday at 8 p.m. and I'll be putting out some information on that. We'll probably do a little bit different format, man. We're gonna think of some new things to get the audience, much engaged. But I want to thank everyone who tunes in and who, watches the shows on a regular basis, man. I just can't say enough, man. But I just want to thank y'all and hope y'all have a blessed Christmas, a happy New Year. Y'all be safe and, just once again, just keep God and, once again, just think about, the troubles you're going through. There's somebody always going through worse, but we definitely, once again, keep my brother Daniel Atkinson in your prayer as we continue to believe God for his healing. Y'all have a blessed night and peace.